So, you have finished first year Greek. You've finished going through a grammar of some sort. For my channel, we've walked through Croy's grammar. So the question is, what do you do next? How do you keep up your Greek? How do you grow your Greek? And so I'm going to give two main suggestions of just start using your Greek. And there are two ways to start using your Greek. One is in the realm of interpretation, and the other is in the realm of reading. Okay, so think about this in English. If you wanted to get better at English, there's two things. Just start reading and start reading harder books. Okay, or two, you can learn grammar better, and there's all sorts of YouTube videos and courses to help you learn grammar better, and that helps you understand like how objects and predicates fit together, and whatever. It helps you understand syntax, and that can also help you learn English. So I'm breaking these into two parts, and here are just some suggestions of how to grow in these two ways. So starting with interpreting, the general principle is just start reading harder books. Read books that use the Greek. And so you will grow in your own knowledge of interpreting Greek as you read masters who are good at interpreting Greek. So you just have to find those. So here's some suggestions. The first handful of things I have here are these are for beginners. So these are meant for people who have just finished first year Greek. What do you do? So Daily Dose of Greek is a website where Dr. Plummer walks through one verse every weekday, and he translates it and parses all the verbs, and if he has time, he'll talk about some interpretation or difficult things. Wonderful. And in the weekends, and just go to the website and look at all of his resources and recommendations. That is just it's a website that has a wealth of information for students. It's really geared towards students. So that's kind of like, just get to know Daily Dose of Greek in the website and following Dr. Plummer's advice and tracks. There's another, ntresources.com also does weekly videos that diagrams and explains a verse or a few verses. So you can, both of these are subscription. That's what's helpful about these, is you can sign up for them and they'll come into your email. And so whenever you check your email, you can click those, watch, the 3-minute, 2-minute video. And it's a way of just keeping your Greek and growing in your Greek. Exegetical Gems is a book by Benjamin Merkle. It goes over some difficult grammar things, but really brings a devotional thread. So this is, you can use it as a devotional, and yet it's geared towards Greek. So that can be helpful. The Egg and Tea and the Baylor Handbook on different books of the Bible. These are commentaries that will parse every word in the Greek. So they're really meant for new students or students who have just finished first year Greek, and they're major helps in helping you to understand what Greek you are looking at. So if maybe you're preaching through a text, or you're just doing a Bible study through a text, you're interested in a book of the Bible, go buy the commentary in either one of these series. So this is the Exegetical Greek Guide to the New Testament. You can just look up, Gospel of Luke or something like that. And then just work through it. And that can help you learn the Greek. Biblingo is a website. It's kind of playing off of Duolingo there. And so it is to help you learn the language. So it'll start from ground zero again. And that actually can be really helpful for learners to start back at the beginning and review cases and nouns. One of the benefits of Biblingo, many Greek programs in schools don't do a lot of composition or speaking or listening. It's mainly translation based. Biblingo really tries to do, it does a lot of videos and audio and typing. So you're composing Greek. So super good way to learn and go deeper into Greek. I've just listed here. Koine Greek it interacts with the linguistics in Greek. It's a good website. Here, just read an intermediate Greek grammar. So if you just go and you just Google intermediate Greek grammar and just see what pops up, any one of these would be good. Basics of New Testament Syntax by Daniel Wallace is a classic. Intermediate Greek Grammar by David Mathewson is really good. And actually, you can go on YouTube and search David Mathewson, and he actually has lectures that goes through his book. So that's that. So if you read the book and watch his lectures, that would be a excellent way to get deeper into grammar. And then going deeper with New Testament Greek is great. And I mean, going down the line here, any of these, pick a syntax. I think Dr. Plummer of Daily Dose of Greek recommends just every so often read through a Greek grammar, and that'll keep your Greek grammar knowledge fresh as you read commentaries and stuff that talk about these terms. Evangelical Textual Criticism blog site. So this is in terms of textual criticism. You may not have learned, but that this deals with manuscripts and stuff. This is a great website for getting into that. Watch more videos on the Bible Toolbox, of course. And okay, these last two are probably the main ones in terms of the advice of reading harder books. The two main areas where that's going to be are technical commentaries. What do I mean by that? These are commentaries written by scholars for scholars. So they are meant to be as detailed and exhaustive and as in-depth as possible. So if you just go on, bestcommentaries.com is a good website, and just, click a book. And one of the cool things is they have this ability to click technical. And so here, it gives you the list of the best technical commentaries on the Gospel of Matthew. And so buy one of these and read through it. Whatever book you're working on, just come here, find one that is technical. And these will do a deep study in the Greek. Okay, so technical commentaries, and then the other is monographs. So again, these are books written by scholars for scholars. And monographs are generally on a topic of some sort. And again, they will be expected to deal with the Greek. Many of these will be dissertations by PhD students. But yeah, just reading books that focus on the Greek, reading harder books will make you a better interpreter of Greek. And so these are probably the two main sources of that: technical commentaries and monographs. And I'll share this link in the notes. Okay, so that's the first column, interpreting, and then the other side is just reading. Just start reading Greek. And that can be difficult because you finish first year and you open up the New Testament in Greek, and it's just hard. And so what are recommendations? So Mark Young's Greek Reader, this is what I did with my students. It goes through Croy's grammar, and it builds along with Croy's grammar and vocab, and developing you into being able to read the Greek New Testament. So that can be super helpful. Reading and rereading Young's Greek Reader will prepare you for the New Testament. I'm going to scroll past these just for a second. There are other books similar to Young's Graded Reader for more Hellenistic or classical Greek. So Athanaze is a common one used in other programs that like classical Greek programs, and its grammar builds point by point, and it has a really entertaining story about a family and some of the struggles that they have. Alexandros is a similar thing where it slowly builds, gets harder and harder, and it's about a boy and his life. And then Greek Alive has a lot of text that you can read as well. And so finding a lot of these books that teach you Greek through reading will help you develop your skills of reading for more difficult texts, like what you'll find in the New Testament. So when you come to the New Testament, there are easier books than others. And so this Dropbox link gives a suggestion of a reading plan through the year, going from the easiest texts, you can see mostly John here, to the hardest texts over here. So that can be very helpful. And if you pair that with, one of those commentaries, this might be a way of developing your Greek, starting with the easiest Greek, going to the hardest in the New Testament. And then I've given some links to Septuagint as well. So after you finish the New Testament, go into the Septuagint and start reading. And just keep reading. Keep growing your reading. If you you don't have to just read the New Testament Septuagint either. I mean, there's lots of Greek text that you can start reading and developing your skills. Another helpful YouTube channel is Peter Brown. He, just like this, kind of has a pen, and he walks through and translates and helps you understand Greek texts. And he does mainly New Testament, but you'll see that he also does, like here, he did book 4 of the Odyssey and Iliad here. So he does other classical works that you can grow your Greek through reading things other than the New Testament. That's something many Christians know the New Testament very well, and so when they read the Greek, they're just kind of reciting the English translation that they already know in their head. And so reading Greek texts of works that you're not familiar with can help you actually grow your Greek, and that you're actually reading the Greek and you're not just remembering English. So that can be helpful as well. So in review, what do you do next? You read harder books that interpret the Greek text and will teach you how to better interpret the text by modeling that. And just start reading Greek and do it in a way starting with text that you can understand and know, and using that to build into harder text that you want to read. So finding books that interpret and reading. Those are the 2 ways to continue your Greek. Just keep using it, and these are your 2 main ways to use it.